From Glenn and Maggie's tragic end to the unexpected love story of Daryl and Leah, here's our list for The Walking Dead's best romances. The Walking Dead is a show that has gone on for 12 years, and during that time, there has been one couple that has stolen the hearts of fans. Glenn and Maggie have been the #1 couple for The Walking Dead fans, and they have also been referred to as the endgame couple. The two first hooked up in season 2. In the beginning, it was Glenn who was attracted to Maggie and her badass yet sweet personality. Maggie, on the other hand, took some time to reciprocate his feelings. Their lust paved the way to a love so strong and romantic that it completely enamored the fans. By season 6, the two were married and had a child on the way. Unfortunately, in season 7, Glenn became the second victim to Negan's brutal debut in the series. Glenn and Maggie's legacy is survived by their son, Herschel. This iconic couple isn't the only one to suffer from such a tragic fate. The series' original love story between Rick and Lori also ended tragically. This couple was the driving force behind the series for the first 2 seasons. The unrelenting pursuit of one man to reunite himself with his wife and child. Although the relationship between the two wasn't always amicable, Rick relied on Lori and truly loved her. Lori's death in the beginning of season 3 had a huge impact on Rick, and it left a hole in his heart that was difficult to fill. In the end, the woman who Rick finally opened his heart up to was Michonne. Rick and Michonne's relationship was teased in the show since season 3. The bond and friendship between the two showed something that Rick and Lori didn't have: trust. Longtime fans of the show were overjoyed when in season 6, the two realized they were in love with each other. The couple was nicknamed Rishon by the fans and stayed together until season 9 when Rick disappeared. What Rick didn't know was that Michonne was pregnant with their son. After the end of the Walking Dead series, a spin-off for the couple has been announced. The couples in the Walking Dead series almost always seem to meet a tragic end. None was more tragic than Sasha and Abraham's. Although this couple was short-lived, the intensity of their love made them into a fan favorite. The relationship started in season 6, when Sasha confronted Abraham on his reckless behavior. She tries to help him deal with PTSD when Abraham confesses his feelings for her, despite being in a relationship with Rosita. This burst of romance was short-lived. However, as in the next season, Abraham is killed by Negan. Driven by vengeance, Sasha ends her life. Sasha comes back as a walker that attacks Negan's men. In the end, she gets put down by Maggie, who was pregnant at the time. This streak of tragic end to fan-favorite couples continued with the next couple on the list, Aaron and Eric. These two were the first openly gay, post-apocalyptic couples to be introduced on TV. We first saw them in the second half of season 5. They were both recruiters for the Alexandria community. Even in times of war, the love they had for each other was genuine and sweet.
You okay? Are you okay? Fine. There are people. They need. No. Eric.
At one point, they also decided to adopt a child into their home. Aaron did adopt a child, but Eric had passed away before that, and the adoption is seen by many as a sign of his love for Eric. Aaron did find love once again, this time with a man called Paul Rovia, more commonly known as Jesus. Jesus and Aaron's relationship is a heartwarming story of devotion to each other and to the community. Just like Eric, Jesus was a guy who looked out for his hilltop community, making sure that he was there for them whenever they needed him. The on-screen chemistry between the characters was off the charts, and unfortunately, most of their relationship developed in the time skip off-screen. The end of this iconic relationship was even more unfortunate. As in season 9, Jesus faces off against a group of walkers all by himself, so that the others could escape. Unfortunately, Jesus is killed, and before he could be reanimated, Aaron stabs him in the head. Jesus' death sent Aaron into a very dark place. Near the series' end, Aaron did eventually recover with help from his community. Another person who was deserving of such love and found it is Carol Peltier. Carol and Ezekiel Ezekiel's love story showed us that with the right person, you can heal from your past scars. Before Ezekiel, Carol was married to Ed Peltier. He used to physically and verbally abuse his wife and make her wear unattractive clothes so that others wouldn't look at her. Ezekiel was a king, a self-proclaimed one in the beginning. He was a charismatic man, and his laid-back personality made him easy to talk to. He first caught Carol's eye when she first arrived in his kingdom. Over a period of time, they got to know each other and opened up about their past and their traumas. They fell in love and got married, making Carol the queen of the kingdom. They even adopted a son, Henry. It was during these times that Carol experienced true happiness. Alas, good times don't last, and Henry's death at the hands of Alpha snatched away any semblance of peace and happiness that Carol had. After that incident, Carol and Ezekiel's marriage also broke off, although they did remain close friends through the rest of the series. There's another couple who we only get a brief glimpse of, but their backstory completely changed how the fans saw the notorious Negan afterwards. We're talking about Negan and Lucille, the woman, not the bat. This was a story that explained why Negan is the way he is. In the episode, we meet a different Negan. Gone was the horrible character who'd kill anyone without blinking. We saw a husband who was just desperately trying to keep his wife alive. You see, Lucille had developed pancreatic cancer shortly before the apocalypse began, and she had lost all of her chemotherapy treatment due to lack of doctors and facilities in the apocalypse. Instead of waiting to die naturally or being bitten, Lucille chose to end her life to avoid the risk of being reanimated and hurting her husband. Negan lived on and did find love once again with Annie in the beginning of season 11. He's shown to have settled down with a woman who's calm and collected even in the face of danger. Annie's acceptance of Negan despite his flaws and his past shows the love between the two, and they even have a child on the way. Fans are expecting a spinoff that focuses on the story between the two and their child. And from what we know of the Walking Dead franchise, if their fans want something, they deliver. There's another character whose love life fans debated. Who would the Crossbow King be in a relationship with? Well, the fans got their answer. Daryl and Leah's relationship was unexpected to say the least. It was shown in a single flashback episode where we saw the man who was terrified of affection in love. The two had first met in the beginning of the apocalypse. At the time, she was wary of Daryl, but soon she opened up to him. She shared with him the story of how she lost her adoptive son in the apocalypse, and the two became romantically involved. When they're reunited, fans noticed that she still had feelings for Daryl. Across 11 seasons of the franchise, this is our list of the best romances in The Walking Dead.